What do you find yourself doing? Just a day-to-day grind? What's a day in the life?
I like to have a game plan every day. When I get up, I want to know where I'm going. At least my first 3, 4, 5 customer stops.
Right.
So I look at where I went last week, if it was somewhere, and actually I'm able to put in comments that would be a reminder if I've got something already lined up or something that I asked a week ago. So my daily grind is just being prepared. I always
Pre-call plan.
pride myself on not forgetting things. Having a tool that helps me do that is fantastic. So every morning you get up and you look at your calendars, the first thing that pops up. Good way to start your day. See if there's any commitments that you have. Follow up reminders at the end of our sales calls, or if you want to dictate something as far as, hey, make sure on next Tuesday, set a reminder to rattle Tom's cage at 10 o'clock or something. Whatever detail you put in there, it's going to pop up. And you can, whether or not you would have forgot that before, I don't know, but it's nice to be able to plan your day around things that you've already scheduled.
Tell me about using the app versus what many reps in your situation are faced with. They have to go back and crack open a laptop or try and figure out some software platform.
I think the selling point to me was when you first rolled it out to us was the fact that having a secretary basically sitting next to you.
So you see it as a perk.
That was a sales point to me.
Yeah.
And the way that you presented it to me is that extra person taking dictation notes, following up. That's right here now.
Yeah.
I don't have to have anybody next to me, but the more I got comfortable using it, the more features I found were to my benefit. And my company reads it, my managers, everybody out there is reading these things so they can help me do a better job every day. You know, if they see an opportunity that maybe I wasn't aware of, or it's a pricing issue or whatever it may be.
This didn't come to pass because you were filling out reports and filling out custom spreadsheets and things. This is just your natural dictation of, hey, this is happening consistently as you're just going throughout your day. You weren't tasked with going out and filling out a critical path success report or something.
No, it was whatever we spoke about. You know, what I want to present, what I want to talk about. And, you know, being in sales, it doesn't always go that way.
Yeah.
You might get hit right off the bat. Hey, we need to talk. We got a problem. Or, you know, and I always think it's an opportunity. You know, let's fix this issue. Let's fix this problem. I'm done with that call. Now it's on to the next one. I know that that's going to get preserved and sent to people that are going to read it and deal with it and, you know, get with me the next day or whatever. So we're addressing things. There's so many things that happen during the day. You're getting texts, you're getting phone calls, you're being asked to go all these different ways. And it just really helps me I look more organized, I feel more organized, and it gains confidence when you go into a place. You feel like you're prepared, you know, and you sell more when you're confident.
How do you perceive when someone reads that note and sends you either through the app or walks down the hall and says, hey, you know, tell me more about this? What's your perception of them, your notes and their participation?
Well, for starters, it's great. The fact that somebody's reading them. Because again, nobody wants to do something that doesn't have, you know, why am I doing these? Nobody's going to read them or comment on them. When you're all by yourself out on the road, you know what it's like.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a great sales call. You want somebody sitting next to you to high five, or you do that fist pump yourself or whatever. And even the stuff that doesn't always go right, you're able to put it all in there. It is what it is. Okay. We were told right up front, don't sugarcoat anything. You don't need to write a novel. Put the bullet points in there, put what happened in the sales call in there, you know, and you got to use your own common sense.
Yeah.
And then it gets addressed. I mean, it was just, hey, let's talk about this. What's going on? Let's hear about it. Or opportunities, you know, hey, I was able to go in there, this fleet of 50 trucks, 100 trailers. We have an opportunity to get their brake business. Here's some of the information that I got. I need a little help on where you guys think I should be. Any kind of input would be great. We're talking about getting that business. That's a win-win. That benefits.
That's more money in your pocket.
Exactly. I used it just the other day. I had a guy call me up and asked, hey, did you ever order the tube of the silicone? I talked to you like, it's been like 2 months.
Yeah, it's random.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I ordered that. Let me double check and I'll look into it. I couldn't remember who I talked to, any of this, but I went to the customer and I started to scroll down about that time period. Sure enough, I had put in my notes who I emailed, and I put the part number in there, ironically, which I don't always
Fantastic.
do, but
Yeah.
makes me understand that putting some of that stuff in there is really beneficial down the road. And I was able to have the part number, call back into the store, see what happened. And I didn't want to call the customer back and go, hey, you want to do this all over again?
Yeah.
Because I can't find it.
It just made you look more professional.
Exactly.
Increased your professionalism, saved the customer, didn't skip a beat. You took care of it for them.
Yeah. Well,
Because
promised.
you had access to the notes, there it was, and you took action.
Right. And it all goes down to what you put into it. If you promise a customer, hey, let me bring you out a truck light catalog next week. Notice you don't have one. This is our product line. You write it down and you forget about it. Things happen.
How many pages back in your notepad was that? Yeah.
So the next day, whether it be reminder that they talked about wanting us to see if we can get training or something, you just feel like you don't forget. As long as you input in all the information and everything else, it all works out well.
So are we second nature to you yet?
Yeah. It's part of my it's part of my day,
Yeah.
I know that I need to use it. I do it right immediately as I'm done with my sales call, because
Yeah.
everything's fresh. And you guys have added a feature that was, to me, phenomenal, is having a notepad.
Oh, take a snapshot of your notepad.
Exactly. I use a notepad. I go in, I write everything down, shorthand, long, whatever. You write it all down, whether it be a VIN number or something like that. Well, you get into your vehicle, not only are you dictating what you just talked about, but you can also take a picture of your notepad, which, if you've been in business a long time or been doing this a while, you either save all your notepads, which you've had forever, but you wouldn't be able to find it. What I like is the fact that you've always said, there's no dumb questions, just ask, because we may be able to do it. And
Well, your feet on the street, you're front row.
Yeah.
So that's where we want to come is to you and say, hey, how do we meet you where you are and have our service become a perk almost rather than a burden?
Well, it's been beneficial to me. I couldn't tell you how many hours I spent typing everything out that we did in email or whatever fashion it was. And time's money. I mean, how many people could you go and see by the time you pull off the side of the road to do all this extra work? It stays with you. For some reason, I had to go away or do something different. Somebody else could pick up pieces right where I left off and see every single thing that I had at least done.
So attrition, if you were to take over someone's territory and they give you a book of business, and you would have access to it.
Well, it happened, actually. We had a salesman that moved to another state, and he had a handful of accounts, and we all kind of took a few based on location and what have you. I was able to go to the account, scrolled back. I knew who to talk to. I could tell by his call reports who the decision maker was. And so I went in there with a lot of confidence, knowing that it wasn't just a cold call to me. It was, hey, by the way, I know you're already buying this, and I know you're doing this, and I know that Gerald was working on this for you guys. And so there's a lot of benefits to having that long memory that you can go back and look at and use it to your benefit. Like you told me from day one, it's like having your secretary sitting next to you. I don't forget a lot. I use the word follow up a lot. I'm always reaching back out. Hey, by the way, did that happen? Did you get that part? How'd that work out for you? People don't do that anymore. People tell me that doesn't happen in today's world. I try to do that based on having these reminders. And, I think that's just what's the difference between you and the other sales guy that just came in the day before.
He's still working off a notepad.
He's working off a notepad. He's forgetting what he did last week.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference. And people don't have a lot of time to waste on nobody calling them back, nobody following through. And it just really puts another person in your truck when you're out calling on people. You can't write down sticky notes all over the world. Yeah. You just forget. People forget. I mean, and so many things happen in one day that if you're always following up on what you forgot, you're not having that full day of success. You're always a day late and $1 short. And after a while, people get tired of that. People want somebody that's going to be there for them and solid and know what they're getting.
Right.
This guy doesn't forget. He's always thorough. I get it.